understanding that every organ has a repair and maintenance schedule can offer us the opportunity to learn how to treat ourselves so we can be healthier and feel better. Understanding the organ clock also helps us identify exactly which organ system or emotion needs strengthening or resolving. In today's busy world, how can we find the inspiration, knowledge, and energy to live a healthy and empowered life? If we balance and harmonize our mind, exercise our body, live according to the laws of nature, and connect to spirit, can we find a way to heal, become our authentic self, and live our purpose with love? I am your hostess, Amy Fournier, and welcome back to Awakening Aphrodite.
My father, Mark Newkirk, used to say that if you could turn off all human thought, the default would be harmony. Within each one of us, at our core, is true perfection. Old programs, limiting ideas about ourselves, and stress cause us to see a different picture. If we can get back to a more natural state of being and begin to see how amazing the Creator has made us, we can see more of our own perfection, heal, and release old programs that do not serve us. Coherent music, nature, and technologies like the Core Harmonizer that use frequencies of music, light, and sacred geometries can help bring us back to our peaceful selves. When we are in a greater state of peace, we can then begin to access more of our own amazing innate abilities. Abilities like self-healing capabilities, perceptive capabilities, and intuitive capabilities, and even more.
Everybody, that was my friend Ross Newkirk. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? This is why his products are on my website. I think it speaks for itself. I know you can feel his level of consciousness. That's the mindset and intention behind the creation of these products. That's what makes them unique. I know if you listen back to what you just heard, you will feel what I'm talking about. And that's why intention of creation is so important. So I'm so grateful that Ross has shared his technology with us at a discount. You can get yours at my website under the recommended products page. Enter the code FITAMYTV10, save 10%. This is the kind of present to tell people to get you, something that's going to change your life, elevate your consciousness, raise your vibration, and increase your energy, your calmness, your peace of mind, decrease stress. I mean, who in the world doesn't need a core harmonizer, right? Thanks, Ross and his team. Go get yours today and let us know what you think. Hey, just jumping in here because, you're probably like me and you don't get outside nearly enough. We're designed to be outside because, like you've heard me say many times on the show, food and light and sound and shape and color, these are all forms of information and energy in our body that we need exposure to. And light is one of those. The full spectrum of natural light is essential for the cells in your body to work properly. In fact, did you know that your sleep is actually determined by the amount of quality light that your eyes and your skin receive during the day? That's right. Different times of the day actually are different light frequencies, just like different vitamins in different foods. Different light frequencies during the day have different beneficial effects to the body. So what is a solution? Like me, you probably have to be inside most of the day. Sauna Space. I found this amazing company after looking for a long time for a home sauna. They have portable units that can go in small spaces. Some of the benefits of a home sauna is detoxification, skin and collagen production, anti-aging, mold, fungus, virus reduction, pain relief, helps your immune system, helps decrease stress, increase your mood, and most importantly, like I said, increases your ability to sleep. I do the sauna late at night sometimes, and oftentimes I don't feel like it. I'm tired, and I'm so glad I did it. I feel so much better. You're getting the light therapy as well as the sweat heat therapy, so it's a double whammy. I love it. It's been a game changer for me. You can get yours by going to my website under the recommended products page and enter the coupon code FitAmyTV5. That's FITAMY TV5 at checkout and save 5%. Enjoy. Welcome back to Awakening Aphrodite with Amy Fournier. This show is about helping you to be healthy and fit in mind, body, and spirit, as well as harmonize your masculine and feminine energy, tap into your intuition, your true source of power, and awaken your authentic self. I am so excited to share with you today's episode because we are going to talk about the organ chart. Did you know that, well, you know your body is cyclical, right? You know that your energy goes through cycles, like maybe in the morning you have more energy, which wakes you up, or maybe you're a slow riser or whatever, and you get like a kick in around 10 a.m. And then maybe you get a slump around 3 o'clock. Most people do. That's when they reach for, a candy bar, a coffee or whatever. And maybe you're a night owl, maybe you're a morning lark, but you probably have some kind of energy cycle, rhythm, or flow. Well, your organs do as well. Did you know that? That's right. At different times in the 24-hour cycle, different organs have more life force, more chi. They're more at a peak energy state. And then at other times, they are not. So they're at peak, and then the corresponding time, they'll actually be low in energy. And what you can deduce from that is there's certain times of the day that are best to do certain things that correspond with facilitating and helping those organs out, being in harmony with the internal workings of your body. You can also use this information to be aware of at different times of the day if you're having any kind of issues. For example, a lot of people wake up in the middle of the night. At what time? 3 o'clock, right? Or 2 o'clock. Well, in today's episode, you're going to learn which of your organs corresponds with that time of day. And then you can reverse engineer and go check it out. Like, oh, wow. Or maybe you get a real energy drop at 1 p.m. You can look and see what organ in my body is corresponding with the 1 p.m. cycle on the 24-hour schedule. And that can indicate that organ is having a hard time. It needs more energy. It's struggling. So it's pulling the energy out of your body. And then you can take steps to help that organ out. And hopefully you'll get better results overall in your life. How's that sound? So I'm going to share with you the organ chart today. I love this thing. I learned about this years ago. And I've got one on my wall. You can download one from the internet. Very easy. Just look up organ chart. If you're not sure, I can send you some of the ones that I use, but they're pretty easy to find. And this whole idea comes from Chinese medicine. And it's a 24-hour body clock, which is divided into 12 2-hour intervals. And intervals of the chi or life force that's moving through each of the organ systems. Chinese medicine practitioners use the organ body clock to help them determine the organ responsible for diseases. So, like in my example, if you find yourself waking up each morning at 3 or 5 o'clock in the morning, or anywhere between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning, you may actually have an underlying grief or sadness issue that's bothering you. Or you may have a condition of the lung or in your lung area of your body. If feelings of anger or resentment arise, you may feel them basically strongest during the time of the liver meridian, which is actually between 1 and 3 a.m. Or perhaps if you experience back pain at the end of the day, you could have pent-up emotions like fear, and perhaps that means kidney issues. So, see what I'm saying? If you think about what time of the day certain things are happening in your body, and you can look that up, or vice versa, you could follow your energy flow. And like for me, I know like when I get certain energy drops, as long as I'm eating and rested and hydrated, you kind of want to do a a process of elimination, rule out the obvious stuff. Then I think, oh, wow, or, like you might even notice, like, let's say you catch a little cold and you have a cough or something. So that's obviously your lung meridian, and which is, I think lung is 1 to 3. So you might have issues at 1 to 3 in the morning, or give that lung some support. The body energy clock is built on the concepts of cyclical ebb and flow of energy, which is all of life and all of nature. We know that. That's the feminine, right? The cycle, the flow. It's not constant. The masculine is the constant. The rock, it stays the same. It's like, that person who's the rock. I can rely on them. They're the same. I always know what I'm going to get. What you see is what you get. It's the same, the same, the same. Now, that could be borderline boring, but it's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. And people that are very, very highly attuned to their feminine essence are kind of like the butterfly flitting around. And they usually do well with that strong masculine presence, the rock, somebody that calms them down. And the masculine is very, very needed in that regard. So the cyclical ebb and flow of energy is what we're talking about here in the body. During a 24-hour period, Chi moves in 2-hour intervals through each of the organ systems. So during sleep, Chi draws inward to restore the body. This phase is completed between 1 and 3 in particular, when the liver cleanses the blood and performs a myriad of functions that set the stage for Chi then to move out again. After 3 is when the energy starts going up to go out of your body. In the 12-hour period following the peak function of the liver, from 3 a.m. onward, energy cycles to the organs associated in daily activity, like digestion and elimination, the lungs, the large intestine, the small intestine and the pancreas, the heart, and the small intestine. By mid-afternoon, energy again moves inward to support internal organs associated with restoring and maintaining the system. So in mid-afternoon, it usually goes inward because you're digesting most likely your biggest meal of the day, and that leads to the mid-afternoon slump because all of your body's energy is used to digest, assimilate, and utilize your food. Digestion, nothing takes more energy than digestion. You probably know that. So the purpose is to move fluids and heat at this time, as well as filter and cleanse by the pericardium, which is the triple birder, which coordinates water functions and temperature, as well as your bladder, kidneys, and liver. All right, so I bet you're wanting to know which organ is associated with which time of the day, right? Well, wait no more. Here we go. I love this stuff. It's so cool. Okay, so let's start with 5 a.m., all right? So I'm usually just about getting up by then. How about you? So 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. is the time of the large intestine, making it a perfect time to have a bowel movement and remove toxins from the day before. It also is the ideal time to wash your body and comb your hair. It is believed that combing your hair helps to clear the energy from the mind. That's kind of cool, huh? At this time, emotions of defensiveness or feelings of being stuck could be evoked. So the large intestine is very biosymbolic of getting rid of waste, okay? Getting rid of what no longer serves you. Think about that. You've got to think of your body biosymbolically. I talk a lot about that on the show, and that reminds me of that wonderful episode I did with Christine Lang on the body whisperer. We'll put that in the show notes for you. You definitely want to check that out and even Dr. Mario Martinez, the amazing researcher on aging and longevity and centenarians, we know that the body symptoms are always biosymbolic. And that's really what the organ body clock system is all about. So the large intestine is symbolic of being stuck, right? If you're stuck emotionally, or you can't let go of something, or you're ruminating on something, or you're afraid and you're hanging on to stuff that you should have let go, days, years ago, whatever, decades ago. That's the large intestine. So that's between 5 and 7. So that's pretty much when your bowels should be working, like you're going to the bathroom at that time. All right. And then from 7 to 9 a.m., so these are 2-hour windows, is the time of the stomach meridian. It's important to eat the biggest meal of the day at this time, at least according to Chinese medicine, to optimize digestion and absorption, because they're saying this is when the stomach is at peak, so it's ready for food at this time. Warm meals that are high in nutrition are best in the morning. Emotions that are likely to be stirred at this time include disgust or despair. See, every organ is associated with not only an area of your body, but also an emotion. I'm not sure if you were aware of that, but it's true. All your organs they're even associated with muscles in your body. Okay, they all hold hands with a muscle, and they're all associated biosymbolically with an emotion. So, between 9 and 11 a.m. is the time of the pancreas and the spleen. This is where enzymes are released to help digest food and release energy for the day ahead. This is the ideal time to exercise and work. So 9 to 11. So do your most taxing tasks of the day at this time. And I know for me, this is totally true for me. 9 to 11, boy, oh boy, I am on. I'm sharp as a tack. I am just banging out action items and ready to go. And I love exercising during that time when I can. Doesn't happen that much anymore. Used to happen all the time. Not happening that much anymore. But that's for me, that's peak mojo energy for me. I don't know about you, but 9 to 11, oh yeah. So do your most tasking task of the day then. And the emotions associated with that are self-esteem. And if you have low self-esteem, you might really be feeling it at this time. Okay, from 11 to 1 is the time of the heart. This is when the heart meridian is peaked. So the heart, which will work to pump nutrients around the body and help provide you with energy and nutrition. And I'll also add, don't forget the heart brain. Okay, this is the time the heart brain is peaked, and knowing that the intelligence, the wisdom of the heart. Because remember, your mind and your intellect can get you so far and give you a lot of information, but your mind and your intellect do not know the wisdom of the heart. The heart knows what you're here for. The heart knows what you want. The heart knows what you need. The heart contains its own intelligence, its own wisdom. And that is not known by the intellect. Your mind doesn't know anything about what your soul came here to do. Your heart has that answer, my friend. So keep that in mind. This is also a great time to eat lunch, and it's recommended to have a light cooked meal at this time. Having a little nap would be nice if possible, and is definitely encouraged at this time. And feelings of extreme joy or sadness can be experienced at this time, because that's the heart energy, right? Okay, 1 to 3. This is the time of the small intestine. This is when food that is eaten earlier will complete its digestion and assimilation. So remember, the stomach is like a blender, but the small intestine is where your body actually starts absorbing the food. This is also a good time to go about daily tasks and exercise. Sometimes vulnerable thoughts or feelings or abandonment issues may subconsciously arise at this time. 3 to 5, this is the time of the bladder, when metabolic wastes move into the kidneys for filtration. It is the perfect time to study or complete brain-challenging work. So another cup of tea might be a good idea here. Drinking a lot of water to help those kidneys filter and detoxify is a good idea. And feeling irritated or tired may occur at this time. And I can say, the bladder is obviously very closely tied in with the kidneys. And the kidneys are from 5 to 7 p.m. 5 to 7 p.m. Think to yourself, how is your energy at 5 to 7 p.m. at night? This is the time of the kidneys. This is when blood is filtered and the kidneys work to maintain proper chemical balance. The kidneys are a critical detoxification organ system, and you're not drinking enough properly filtered and structured water, you're going to have a major kidney issue. And you want to learn more about what I'm talking about, structuring your water, episode 88 with Dolph Santanga is a absolute must listen. as well as the episode with Isabel Friend. You definitely want to check those out, particularly if you're somebody who pees all the time or knows they should be drinking water and doesn't, or knows they should be drinking water and does drink water, but still doesn't feel great or hydrated or have high energy. If you have energy problems, you need to listen to that episode. So the kidneys are symbolic of fear. So there's a lot of that going on right now. And most of us have an undercurrent of subconscious fear, and that's a kidney issue, something you need to address. From 7 to 9 p.m. is the time of circulation, when nutrients are carried to the capillaries and to each cell. This is the perfect time to read, to start to wind down. Avoid doing mental activities at this time. Oh boy, good luck with that one. A difficulty in expressing emotions may be felt, however. This is the perfect time to have sex or conceive. Keep that in mind. So yeah, 9 to 11 p.m. is the time of the triple heater. So we're talking hormones here. So endocrine system is where the body's homeostasis is adjusted and enzymes are replenished. This is a critical time, my friends, 9 to 11 p.m. So we're talking your neurotransmitters, your hormones, which is another way of saying your mood and your energy, right? Your mojo. This is your endocrine system. So critical time, not that all the others aren't just as important, but from 9 to 11, you really need to pay attention if you have any kind of problems with what I just said. Mood, hormones, all that stuff, sleep. You want to start making sure your lifestyle is conducive to that part of your body starting to get what it needs in restoration. And that means not being around LED lights, bright fluorescent indoor lighting, using blue blocking glasses if you're on computers. I've got those on my website if you don't know what I'm talking about. Critically important so you don't screw up your sleep cycles. And helping your body know that it's getting time for bed. I mean, 9 to 11, you should be asleep by 11, okay? Not to mention winding down energetically. So that's the triple heater. That's taking care of your hormones holistically and through your lifestyle. So from 11 to 1, this is the time of the gallbladder. So remember, the chi is really going deeply internal during this time because you should be asleep. So in order to wake feeling energized, the body should be at rest during this time. In Chinese medicine, this period of time is when yin energy fades and yang energy begins to grow. It just begins to grow. It's when it switches from energy in to energy out. Yang energy helps you keep active during the day and is stored when you're asleep. So if you're not sleeping properly, your yang energy doesn't get stored. And of course, what do you think? That's going to make you tired and not have high energy during the day. So subconscious feelings of resentment may appear during this time. From 1 to 3 a.m. is the time of the liver and is the time when the body should be asleep. 1 to 3, this is critical time. And it's really funny because this is the time that we hear most people wake up in the middle of the night. I know I do. I usually have to pee or something at that time. But the good news is I go right back to sleep. Thank God. So to me, yeah, sure. Ideally, you sleep through the night, your 9 hours or whatever it is, and you never wake up. But I often wake up to go pee, but I go right back to sleep. So it's not a problem for me. It works well for me. I wake up in the morning with good energy. I have strong energy throughout the day. If you can't get back to sleep, that's a big issue, which is another show. Okay. But something it can help you with now, though, because yes, why is your liver waking you up? Your liver's struggling. Okay, something's going on. Your body should be asleep, but it's struggling doing its essentially critical detoxification job during this time. You must detoxify, my friends. You must take out the trash. Your body has to be able to do what it was designed to do, or you will have problems. So toxins are released between 1 and 3, or at least they should be, and then fresh new blood is made. If you find yourself waking between 1 and 3, you could have too much yang energy. So too much go, go, go. You're living too fast. You're too frenzied. You're too overstressed. You're overwhelmed. You're overscheduled. Okay? You're not having enough down quiet time. And this is going to affect your liver and your detoxification pathway as well as your sleep. So the emotion associated with the liver is anger. I'll also add, it's also frustration. So like I used to always say, I'm not really angry. I would get frustrated a lot. Like I get frustrated almost pretty much on a daily basis with technology. I always have some kind of like computer, phone, internet, whatever, website, something problem. It's a spiritual practice. Let's just say it's a spiritual practice for me to keep my cool and not let it just set off all my buttons when it doesn't work. Because again, it's kind of pretty much, I can count every day that that's pretty much going to happen. So that I always remember, okay, I'm hurting my liver. I'm screwing up my detoxification ability. I try to really kind of rein that in and get a control of myself. So yeah, anger and frustration are the liver. And lastly, 3 to 5 a.m. is the time of the lungs. Again, this is the time where the body should be asleep. But if woken at this time, we can do nerve-soothing exercises like breathing. Breathing exercises are great to do at this time. Like just lay in bed and breathe. You can do the 4-point breathing. You can do, the long exhale breathing to really turn on your parasympathetic nervous system. So the body should be kept warm at this time between 3 and 5, and this will help the lungs replenish the body with oxygen. The lungs are associated with grief and sadness. So if you find that you are having trouble sleeping and staying asleep between 3 and 5 a.m., you might want to consider, is there anything that I'm feeling really sad about or anything I'm not addressing that like maybe it could be even just unresolved grief, the death of a loved one or death of a dream, the loss of a job. I mean, grief, in all its forms, it's not just death. It's just a death of a concept, a hope, whatever. So sadness is a very, very real thing in a lot of our lives. And most of us have unresolved sadness and trauma. And lungs are a big thing. So having like chronic colds, chronic cough, bronchitis, obviously, those are all lung conditions. And, the respiratory viruses, I won't mention names, but those are all conditions of the lungs. And obviously the remedy to that is to do things that make you feel happy, right? The antidote to sadness is happiness. So happy making activities. What are some happy making activities for you? Do you have any? And more importantly, do you do them? Do you do them regularly? And do you not feel badly about doing them? Do you not feel guilty and self-indulgent and selfish about doing them? Because you are taking care of yourself. And my friend, that is self-love. That is self-love. Is giving yourself the things that you love, doing the things that you love to do, taking the time to nurture and give to yourself because it feels good and it makes you happy. And in the end, this is going to keep you healthy. You see how this all works together? Our body is always talking to us. Remember, it's biosymbolic. So understanding that every organ has a repair and maintenance schedule and keeping this and respecting this on a daily basis can offer us the opportunity to learn how to treat ourselves so we can be healthier and feel better. Understanding the organ clock also helps us identify exactly which organ system or emotion needs strengthening or resolving. So for example, if you get sleepy between 5 and 7 p.m., you could research a little bit about what you can do to strengthen that meridian, which, by the way, is the kidneys. Like, well, how can I help my kidneys? Well, I mentioned one. Making sure you're drinking enough properly filtered, structured water is absolutely for sure. And then addressing anything that you might be afraid of, like with a counselor, a trusted friend, a confidant, a journal, okay? Talking to your soul. All of these things would be a way of strengthening that meridian. Another great solution to deficient kidneys in Chinese medicine I can share is a sweet potato for breakfast. According to Chinese medicine, that should help strengthen the kidneys. I don't know. Personally, I never tried that myself, but what the heck, right? I guess it's worth a try. So please make sure you always look at the emotional aspect of your organs and your life and your symptoms. You've got to look at the mind, body, spirit. I'm sure you know that by now, or else you wouldn't be with me. So if you're sleepy during kidney time, question might be, do you have any fears? Anything blocking you from reaching your goals and your potentials? Are you feeling afraid? Are you feeling rejected? Are you feeling afraid of failure? Or maybe you're even afraid of success? Are you afraid that you're not going to be able to pay your mortgage or your rent? I mean, all these fears are eating away at your kidneys, and your body is trying to handle them as best possible. It's probably expressing them in some kind of symptomology you have. So addressing the emotion as well as the organ can strengthen your whole mind, body, spirit together. And you can go through that at each of the organ clocks. So let's do a very quick review as we wrap this up. 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. is the large intestine. 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., the stomach. 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., the pancreas and spleen. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., the heart. 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., the small intestine. 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., the bladder. 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., the kidneys. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., circulation. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., the triple heater, which is your endocrine system, your hormones. 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., the gallbladder, which has to do with courage, by the way, and works with the liver. 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., the liver. And 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., the lungs. So some of the key emotions, large intestine is about letting go, okay? The stomach is about processing emotions. The spleen and the pancreas can be about sweetness in life. The heart, well, the heart is the wisdom of the heart, right? It's our emotions, it's our true essence, it's our soul, it's our divine nature. And the heart can be anger, it can be really any of the emotions. The small intestine is about assimilating. Okay, so that's like an integration stage. So like if you're an information junkie and you go from course to course to book, and you're always absorbing information and you're not ever taking the time to integrate the information and process it and take it within yourself and let it blend together, kind of like let it marinate. In alchemy, it's called the cooking stage. That's a stomach issue. Okay, you want to take that time. The bladder, which is a filtration organ. It can be having to do with being irritated. The kidneys are subconscious fear and terror. And the triple heater is our emotions. The gallbladder is courage, like the expression, you've lost your gall. Well, that's from the gallbladder. It's courage. Because it takes courage to follow your emotions, right? And the liver is about anger. Anger, rage, and frustration. And lastly, the lungs is sadness and grief. So there you go, the body organ chart. Everything in life in our bodies are biosymbolic, my friends. This show is about holistic health and mind, body, spirit, wellness, inside and out. I hope this gives you a little bit of insight. It's certainly interesting at the very least, isn't it? Something to explore. See if it works for you. Just start paying attention. Just be aware. Maybe go online and print an organ chart. Take a look at it and just kind of register in your brain your energy cycles, the ebb and flow of your energy and your body symptoms. When did it occur? And look for patterns. That's the main thing. Look for patterns. Like, it might be just like an out of the blue, something happens one day. But when you start seeing patterns, like more than once, twice, 3 times, that's when you want to start really paying attention. I really hope this helped you. And look, if it did, I would love it. I would be forever indebted. You can support me by leaving a review on my show. It only takes a minute on iTunes, and sharing it with a friend. Sharing it is huge, huge, huge. We all share things that we know and love and think are cool. I'd love it if you would share my show. It's really easy to do, to share this episode right on your phone. You can just text it to somebody real quick. Hey, have a listen. This was really cool. You might find it helpful. And follow me on Instagram at FitAmyTV. You can also support me and yourself by checking out my favorite products, stuff I use every single day. That's why it's on my website store. And there's coupon codes there, so you can save some money too. I love being with you. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear. Tag me on Instagram so I can come say hi to you. I'll see you next time on Awakening Aphrodite. Would you like to support my mission to help empower people all over the world to be all of who they truly are? If so, please subscribe to the show. leave a review on iTunes, and share it with a friend. And if you're looking to take immediate action to align your energy and optimize your health, visit amyfournier.com. Thanks for listening to Awakening Aphrodite. Let's awaken her together in you. I'm your hostess, Amy Fournier, and I already can't wait to be with you again and for you to hear what I have planned for the next show.
Thanks for listening to Awakening Aphrodite with Amy Fournier. To learn more about Amy, check out her website, amyfournier.com. That's amyfournier.com. You can also check out Amy's live and on-demand virtual fitness and yoga classes, and sign up for her newsletter to receive a free mini ebook of 3 of her top tips for making holistic health a lifestyle. Again, that's amyfournier.com, and get your ebook sent to your email immediately. Connect with Amy on the daily on Instagram at FitAmyTV, FITAMYTV, and watch many of the podcast episodes and subtopic clips on her YouTube channel, which is also Fit Amy TV. Enjoy, and we'll see you next time on Awakening Aphrodite.